So you're going to create something that is a geometric visual analysis of a design. So on the left here is the original design by Atelier Bingo, and here's my recreation using the same colors, digital colors that have been selected, and also the same placement of all of the visual elements. So firstly you need to open up Illustrator, and what you're going to do is use the shape tool. Make sure you're on a new layer, so on the layer 1 should be the image. To bring in an image you need to go to File, Place, and then select the image from the desktop or somewhere else. If you don't place the image into Illustrator and you save it, the next time you open Illustrator the image you imported will not be there. So make sure you File and Place. So I've File, Placed, inserted this image. I'm going to go onto the Layers panel. If it's not here, go to Window, Layers, and it will come up. Click on Create New Layer. I can lock this layer, so I'm not going to accidentally move it. I'm going to work on layer 2, which currently is blank. So with the shape tool, you have, unlike in Photoshop, you don't have a foreground and background color, you have a fill and a stroke. So the fill of the shape and the outline or stroke. So at the moment, the stroke is blank, so we're going to keep that blank. If it's not, double click it, and you can choose a color, or you click at the bottom here to make it blank. And the fill, we're just going to choose a color that we can see quickly. So double click, choose a color, we're going to change it in a minute. As you can see, when I'm going to the edges of this image, these anchor points are coming up. That's because I have Smart Objects set. So if you go on View, if yours aren't coming up, make sure Smart Guides is selected. This makes it easier to make the shapes exact. So I'm going to click on this anchor point, click and hold and drag till I get to the other anchor point, and as you can see it snaps and says anchor. So now I've made that shape. Go on the Move tool, Selection tool V. Illustrator has 2 selection tools. We're going to talk about the other one another time. And then we can move this across. Hold Shift, it stays parallel, otherwise it goes wherever it wants. So that's our background, but it's the wrong color. So we're going to click on the pipette, which is I, click on I, and now it's changed to that color. And then we're going to go back to each shape. Now the intersection isn't coming up on these because it can't work out that it's an irregular shape, it's not a perfect rectangle. So I'm going to click and drag to make this shape here. If you get it incorrect, you can click and drag a corner out. I'm now going to click I, choose the color, and now it's changed that color. Click V, and I can drag this over. And I can do the same. I could make another shape, or I could quickly click on this, hold Alt, and duplicate, because I know it's going to be a rectangle for this shape, and I'm going to just scale it down. And again, I'm going to move this, click I, and change it. Click on the orange, the peach color, and change it to that. So as you can see, I'm building up my design. I'm going to do this for everything. Even though these are irregular shapes, I'm going to use the circle. So click and hold on the shape tool, and you can choose an ellipse. I'm going to hold Shift to keep the circle in proportion. If I don't, it becomes an ellipse. So I'm just going to scale that down. Click on I, click on the black, and now it's changed that color. So I can build up my design, hold Alt click, scale this down to the shape of this circle, and I can build this one up. They're touching, so I'm going to bring them there. Go back onto the rectangle, create the shape in the center, move it across. It touches, it's near to the orange, but it's not quite there. Then I'm going to choose one of the colors. I could choose the blue, or I could choose the cream color. And once you've eventually built them up, as you can see, this is overlapping. If you want something to be on top, you can click on it, right click, and arrange, bring to front. And as you can see, it's now come to the front. If I want it to go back, right click, after selecting the shape, arrange, send to back. And it's gone right to the back. If I just send backward, it goes one step back, and now it's behind the shape. And once you've done that, you've got the colors correct using the eyedropper tool, and you've put all of the shapes in the correct place, you will have a design that geometrically is laid out in terms of your understanding of the composition. Go on to the other video to find out how to do the color palettes.